Hey, what's up guys? This is Martin here from Kodiak. Your favorite Chad from Poland is here. Coming to you live like always. And on this video, we're going to talk about the 7 life lessons that men learn too late in life. And the reason why I'm making this video, gentlemen, is because a couple of hours ago, I was, driving back home from the funeral because one of my family members has passed away. I think she was 66 years old. And I was really thinking about the whole purpose of life and just the fact that life is just so short. And there's so many things that we learn way too late. And I've basically compiled like a little list of all the important points that I wish I knew if I were to be younger again. I'm still 25, by the way. So let's go, okay? So the very first thing that I wish I knew earlier was that social media is not real. Social media is fake. And this is a very important point to all people who are really young who are watching this. All you guys who are between the ages of 15 to 30 or even 35, we're so used to social media. We're so used to TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, right? And we can look at someone on Instagram and they look perfect, okay? They have the best skin, they're tall, they're sexy, they're handsome, they're beautiful, right? They have a lot of money. It looks like they're traveling the world. Everything looks perfect on paper. But the thing that we don't really realize most of the time is that this is all just a facade. It's just a picture. That's what it is. It does not represent the reality. And this is such an important concept because you don't understand this. And I used to think like that when I was younger. I was like, hey man, oh gosh, this guy looks amazing on Instagram. Oh man, this girl is flawless. She's perfect. She has no flaws. She has no weak points. But I didn't understand it at the time. But I actually get it now because I'm older, I'm wiser, I'm more experienced, and this is just facts. Social media is fake. Most of the things that y'all see on social media is just people are just fronting an image on Instagram, especially with cars, money. Oh my God, bro! Like people get in debt, people get a mortgage, people lease cars, people finance everything, and they're barely getting by. And although their Instagram looks perfect, but in reality, the guy, the girl, they're going through a financial crisis. They're barely getting by. Maybe they just got laid off, and now you'd have to, return all these payments. They have to, upkeep their lifestyle, and now they're struggling, but you don't know it because on Instagram, their relationship, their life, their money, and everything looks perfect. Has no weak points. Has no holes. There's no cracks in the armor. But that's a lie. And every single person out there, even if they're attractive, a lot of attractive people do the same thing. They're all editing, they're all filtering, and they're all editing their photos for a reason. And their videos and everything in between. It is not real. And it's especially true with all these, social media influencers and all these business coaches and all these people who claim to be experts. They're all just painting this image of being this perfect person, and they're not realizing that it can actually hurt them because there's some people who can actually see through that, and they're lying to you guys. They're telling you that they have no bad days, they have no struggle, they're not going through any kind of failure and any kind of bad emotions. They all look like little cyborgs on the internet. But that is not real. That is false. They're doing it on purpose. So don't get caught up in this trap. Never think, oh, how come this guy is so perfect, but I'm not? No. He's faking it. This is why on my channel, whenever I'm recording a video, I'm recording it in all kinds of environments. I never have a perfect camera. I never have the perfect lighting. No, because I want to show the real side of me. And a lot of people will never do it because a lot of people have big egos. They're like, I'm never going to show that kind of side to the internet. I'm not going to show it to the world. Bro, these people are lying to you. But at least I'm being honest about it. So, the point of the matter is, social media is fake. Most of it. Most of it. Yes, I mean, sure, there's people out there who have a lot of money, who are very good looking, and they look really good. They're successful. But the vast majority of them are faking it. I'm telling you. Especially here in Poland, I see it all the time. With all these, there's some entrepreneurs here who make a little bit of money, and they think they're balling. They're releasing all the newest, they're releasing the newest cars, the newest Mercedes-Benz, the newest BMW M cars, and they think they're on a roll, man. But that whole lifestyle is fake. It is uncredited. It is not real. And you don't understand it because they will never tell you about it. So that's the bottom line. Don't fall down that trap of materialism. Because there's so many people who are stuck in their, shitty 9-to-5 job, or they have like a little corporate job or a little business that they're trapped in, because they have to, pay the bills. They have to, live the kind of lifestyle that they have on the internet, and they're trapped. Okay? So that's the thing. Okay, second lesson. Happiness is actually overrated. I think this whole concept of happiness is, the way social media presents it is just so flawed. Because personally, I don't believe in happiness. I think a better word for happiness is fulfillment. Are you actually being satisfied and content with who you are? Are you living your life? Because happiness, like the word happiness, it basically means that you're happy all the time. It's just like happiness implies that you're never going through bad days. You're always happy. Like going back to the whole Instagram social media thing, people always look happy there. They always have the best photos, the best videos and everything. And it's all done on purpose. You don't see their bad side. No, you don't. They will never show it. They will never display their bad side to the world. But going back to happiness is just like with motivation. Personally, I don't believe in motivation either. Like motivation to me is just like some feeling that you have. It comes and goes. But discipline, you can rely on discipline and consistency and having good habits. But motivation is just like some little feeling that you get, through affirmations, or maybe you have a good day, okay? You've managed to get a little win. Now you're like, yay, I'm on a roll. You made some money. Maybe that girl said yes to you. Maybe you, I don't know. Maybe you got a promotion. Okay, now you're motivated. Yeah. We're pushing for it. But the thing is, that is short-lived. That is not sustainable. So, when it comes to happiness, I don't believe in it. Happiness, to me, is severely overrated. You should really aim for being content and being satisfied. Fulfilled. Sorry. Fulfilled is a better word for it. Are you fulfilled by what you're doing every day? Are you actually living through your purpose? That's the better question that you have to ask yourself. So, let's get on to the next one. Number 3. Remember that you will die at some point eventually. And life is just way too fucking short. And when you're really young, you don't understand this. But I'm kind of realizing it at this point because I'm 25. And when you're young, you never really think about these kind of things. You always think, oh yeah, I'm going to stay young forever. I don't have to worry about that shit because I don't have to worry about my pension plans, my 401k, my retirement fund. I don't have to worry about that kind of shit. I'm young. I gotta live my life. But no, those years will pass by really fast. Like that. I can snap my fingers and they're gone. I can still remember when I was 18. And those last 7 years have passed by like that. So, if you actually want to live a good life and be really fulfilled with who you are, and be content and live with purpose, you need to start acting now, and stop putting things off for later. Stop procrastinating, because you're not going to be young forever. No, you're not. And That's the truth. You can't deny it. Like aging, becoming older, and yes, there's a lot of benefits that come with age. You get wiser, you have more experience, right? You have, you're more wise. You have some knowledge. Okay, you can make better decisions now. Yes, absolutely. But you're not gonna stay young forever. So that's the thing that you have to remember. You're not gonna be young forever. So, okay, number 4. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You either want it or you don't. Nobody cares about you. And I think too many times, especially people who are born into these wealthy families, people who are born into money, let's say people who are born into privileged families, like all these kids, they usually grow up very entitled. They're lazy. They're soft. They don't really have that drive, that work ethic. They don't have that juice, right? And that's a big problem because they're content from a very early age. And this happens with a lot of rich kids. That's why a lot of rich kids or people who are born into money, they usually end up killing themselves because they don't have that purpose. They don't have the thing that they can really work for. So, I know I'm being a little bit drastic with this example, but that's the thing. Because they don't have any kind of motivation now. Like their life is so amazing. They just don't really have they don't have that chip on their shoulder. That's a problem. And so the thing is, like, nobody cares. You either want it or you don't. Nobody's going to care more about you than you. You have to be your own biggest supporter. You have to love yourself. Nobody's going to love you more than you. No one. Not your girlfriend, your parents, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa, even your kids, man. No. You can only rely on you. My dad used to tell me that all the time. Martin, you can only count on yourself. In the toughest times, when it comes to the toughest decisions, you have to be your own best supporter. And make the choice that you believe is right. That's the thing. And this is something that most people will never learn. Or they will get a little lesson of it once they get really, really old. And you don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be laying on your deathbed at 70, 80 years old and have all these regrets because you didn't take action earlier. Because you were so worried. Which actually leads me to my next point. Point number 5. Stop worrying about what people think of you. Life is way too fucking short to worry about what people think of you. What your neighbor thinks of you, what your girlfriend thinks of you, what your parents think of you, what your friends think of you, your loser friends most likely. What the internet thinks of you, what some fucking YouTube hater thinks of you. They're all irrelevant. It doesn't matter. And I would say this point right here, procrastination, I wouldn't say procrastination, but the fear of what if? It's the biggest killer of dreams. Because fear can actually be your biggest counselor, but at the same time, it can be your biggest jailer. Because using fear to your advantage and using it in a positive forward momentum, it's an amazing thing. But letting fear control you and steer you away from your goals, that's a big problem. You don't want it to happen to you. Because this is how most people operate. Most people, when they're scared of something, they let fear control them. They're stopped. They're squashed. They're immunized, basically. They can't do anything. And you don't want to become that person. You have to act now. And just remember that there's 8 billion people on the planet. And there's you. You're one little human being amongst 8 billion people. So what the fuck do you have to worry about? There's nothing you have to worry about. Really. When it comes to other people. So do it now. One man or one woman out of 8 billion people. Just go for it, really. Okay, point 6. 99% of people don't know what they're talking about. And this is something that I preach a lot on my channel. Only listen to people who have the results that you want. People who have a track record of something. People who have done something in life. Don't listen to all these hypocrites. Don't listen to these people who've never done anything in their goddamn life. Because this is a big, big problem in society, especially with the internet. There's so many people out there, especially in the comments section. Oh my god, bro. I'm so used to it at this point. There's so many people out there who have no results. They haven't achieved a goddamn thing in their life. And they think they know it all. Like, most people are so fucking arrogant. It's disgusting. They have a big ego. They think they claim to know everything, but they have no results. It's a big, big problem. And I was never like that. This is why on my channel, I only really talk about things that I've done myself. With improving my attraction level, with talking to women, with being a learner of life, because I'm committed to this self-improvement, world. I've been very consistent for a long time, and this is something that I can teach you guys. But most fucking people, they have no idea what they're talking about. So only listen to people who know what they're talking about. So, like, maybe you want to, I don't know, move to the US. Maybe you want to start a YouTube channel. And maybe you want to become an entrepreneur and make a lot of money. Maybe you want to date the woman of your dreams. Maybe you want to buy a Lamborghini. Maybe you want to learn French. Like, whatever it is. Or maybe you want to become a Hollywood actor. Like, I don't care what it is. Only listen to people who've lived the path that you want to live. This is such an important concept. And people don't pay attention to it. They just blindly listen to the crowd. They just blindly listen to all these sheep people. It's a huge problem in society. So this is like where you need to activate your critical thinking skills. Like, really analyze. Does this person live the kind of life I want to live? Does he or she have the kind of results I want in my life? Because if not, you shouldn't bother listening to them. Okay? Very important point. Okay. 7, and this is going to be the last one on this list. Remember that mistakes, setbacks, and failing is a part of life. Because so many times, and I think this mentality comes from the school system. This is where it actually originates from. Because school has taught us that failing is bad. You should always be perfect. You should never collaborate with people. You should do everything by yourself. And that you should never listen to credible people. Like, as you can see, like, the school system, like everything that school teaches you is the exact opposite of what you need to become successful in life. That's like the whole paradox of this. So the point is, failure, going through tough moments, going through adversity is normal. Every single person goes through this. Even the most successful people on the planet, people who look perfect on Instagram, people who make a lot of fucking money, people who look amazing all the time, people who have huge businesses, people who are really successful, they all go through something from time to time. You know, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, like what some people make it look like online. So, it is a tough life. Everybody goes through something. Even if you're poor, you know, regardless of your financial status, your wealth, your physique, right, your health, your relationship life, your career, your country, your nationality, your skin color, your religion, your, like, whatever it is, irrespective of what it is, we all go through something. And that is such an important lesson. Because it's very easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you're special and you're the only one who's going through this. No. There's a lot of people that go through failure. There's a lot of people who are going through some bad times now. Like some horrible times. Horrific times. Like in Los Angeles a couple of weeks ago. The Los Angeles wildfires, they've burned down 10,000 buildings. Which is nuts. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. So, some people are going through hunger. Some people are, I don't know, Some people have to, flee their country, because they're having a war. Like, this is why I think at the same time it is so important to be grateful and live with gratitude. Because especially you guys who are watching me from a Western country, your life is already amazing. So be grateful and live your life. And just keep in mind that mistakes, failures, and everything is part of life. Sometimes you have to fail a lot before you can succeed. And every single successful person that I've met, they all failed massively at some point. Every single one of them. Like, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. And if you think you can just avoid this, no, you're stupid if you believe that. Like, life is a roller coaster. It has its ups and downs. This is why you have to be consistent. And just remember that it's just part of life. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you guys a beautiful day. Okay? Stay strong.